Hey brothers, it's John Robinson. This is training video number 2, going over HubSpot and what to do once you're first into HubSpot. So one thing to know is that everybody on the engagement team has been assigned a certain number of contacts. Okay, and I know you guys are going over this as a engagement team, but when you're assigned a certain number of contacts, you guys are going to split those up and make an attempt, a good faith attempt to reach out to each one of these men that have been through a phase 1 that are from North Carolina. They may not have gone through the P1 in North Carolina, but they're at least live in North Carolina now. They're in our database, and you'll be assigned a certain number of those. So when you first log in, you can see my screen here. I've created sort of a dummy account, so I only have one contact, but you're going to have in most cases, somewhere between 100 and 125 contacts. And that's everybody's going to have at least 100, and depending on how it got cut up as we were doing it, you may have upwards of 125, 130. So if you see that number, that is not incorrect. We just had to split them up because there's, a certain number of engagement team members with a certain number of contacts. So be alarmed if it's less than 90 or more than 150. Definitely reach out to us. But if it's not, you're in good shape. So you can see here, I have one contact. This is going to be your home screen or your dashboard screen that's going to list the name. In this case, it's Jim Smith, Jim Smith's email, phone number, contact owner, primary contact, marketing status, and when it was created. Now, if you see different fields, we are playing around with different fields here to increase the number of fields as a global setting. That has not been done yet. And well, in fact, it has been done and it did not take. So we're working on that. But that's really not important for these purposes. Just know that this is your base. This is your base camp right here. So as you're making calls, you're going to live inside the individual contact that you're reaching out to. So in this case, it's Jim Smith. So let's say, for example, I'm getting ready to call Jim and I'm going to click into his contact. I click his name and then it brings up all of this. Now, over here on the left pane, you're going to see Jim Smith, his email address, and then some very basic information: street address, email. Are they active in a P3? Yes or no? We're going to do another video. Training video 3 is going to tell you how to change some of these fields and where to go when you want to change it. But the purpose of this video is just to give you a lay of the land and show you sort of, okay, once I'm in, I click the contact, and now I can see some very basic information from street address to phone number and so on and so forth. And my guidance would be, as you're making calls, go ahead and click into the contact. You'll have their phone number will be listed on the first dashboard page, but it's also going to be listed here. And this is where you're going to make your notes. This could be either filling in information we don't currently have or amending or editing information we do have that happens to be incorrect. So just familiarize yourself with this as you log in. And this is where you're going to do most of the work that happens in this process, besides the very heavy lifting, hard work that we value incredibly. Making the call is the hardest thing. But once you're interacting with that brother and having a conversation, and if you get to the point where you can double check some information, this is the screen that you're going to be in and live in and go and make these changes. So with that is video number 2, and video number 3 is going to go over, okay, now once I'm ready to make changes, what happens? Thank you, brothers.